Hi, my name is Spencer Ives. I'm the managing editor for Security Systems News here on the show floor of ISC West 2018 with Brian McLaughlin, CEO of Alula. Welcome, Brian.
Thank you, Spencer.
So Alula is the new brand for the combined company of ipDatatel and Resolution Products. What can you tell me a little bit about what the combined company is and what you're doing?
Great, and first of all, thanks for having me here. The Alula is really the combination, as you mentioned, of two great companies that have had a rich history within the industry, within the security industry, home automation industry. And really, it's a combination of Resolution Products out of Hudson, Wisconsin, which is focused for a long time on brilliant engineering of hardware, sensors, hubs, translators, and other types of hardware components, with ipDatatel out of Houston, Texas, which is really focused on communications, the ability to do highly secure, millisecond, IP-based communications with the option for cellular, of course. Both companies reached a point where they felt like they could grow on their own, but that the classic synergy model of 1 + 1 = 3, companies brought together could do something greater and could really help to kind of transform the industry overall. And that's where we are today. The companies have been brought together. The marriage is complete. We're now one company, one brand, one mission, one roadmap, and one product line. And it's been great. It's been a lot of hard work by a lot of great people who came on board long before me, and who brought this together. And we've now been able to kind of drive some traction in the marketplace around this new combined value proposition.
Nice. It's great to hear that it's been going well. So now that you've brought the two companies together, what are some of the things on your plate now? What is Alula working on?
So I think it's important when we look at where we're heading to look at what's different about the Alula platform. And there are a number of key things that we're trying to do differently, because Alula is really meant to be a fresh, modern look focused on dealers and dealer enablement. We're 100% focused on dealer enablement. Dealers right now are really under siege from all kinds of new forms of competition, and their growth is going to be challenged going forward unless they innovate. And we're 100% focused on dealers and giving them with new innovative solutions for security technology, but also for home automation. We feel like we can do this differently, and maybe different than the historical legacy providers that are out there, because there's a lot of great companies who've been doing a lot of great things through the years. But I think the industry, and I've spent a lot of time on the road my first few months here, and we've heard loud and clear, the industry's looking for an alternative. And we're trying to be that alternative, and it really gets down to a couple things. First of all, with the engineering and the hardware, we're fully encrypted end-to-end, not only from the sensors, all the way back to the hub, all the way back to the network. And because we own the entire end-to-end picture, we put all the pieces together, we're able to do that. We're also a hub-first design. And what we're trying to do now is say, you can be very flexible and adaptable with the way that you can use this technology. If you want to start up a DIY group, you can use it for that. Low cost, simple solution. If you want to use it for a home automation toolkit, you can do that. If you want it professionally installed, we can add a wall panel as well, a nice graphical touchscreen, tablet touchscreen. So there's lots of different ways that you can take this, but it's very flexible because it's hub-first design. Another key component that's different is we're IP first. The network is IP first. The industry's kind of gotten conditioned to sell first, and I think that's good historically, but it's more costly, it's more expensive, and in some cases leads to some latency. IP first gives you a lot of flexibility in terms of cost, but also allows you to communicate milliseconds as opposed to multiple seconds. And that's a really big difference for us. You put all that together, and we're really an end-to-end provider, one neck to grab. Something goes wrong, you're not having to call your network provider or having to call your hardware provider or your application provider. It's one neck to grab. And that's really what our model is all about. So some of the big things we're working on right now, first and foremost, video's everywhere. Doorbell, outdoor, indoor, and we've got a great video solution today. We're working on enhancing that and broadening that out. Again, using the IP-based network and integrating that in with the rest of the system. So you've got triggers that bring the alarm system together very nicely with the video system. We're working extensively on our user interface. Our mobile applications can run across phones, tablets. You can put it on a wall mount panel if you'd like, but it's not necessary. And we're trying to give the freedom to the end user to be able to interact with the system any way that they want to. And then we feel like that's a bit of a different approach. So we're spending a lot of time updating the interface with scenes, and then the ability to interact with the home automation side. We're spending a lot of time on expanding out our home automation options, because more and more dealers I'm talking to are becoming more home automation companies that offer security than the other way around. And really we feel like our system is the convergence between home automation and the traditional security system. That's a big area. Last but not least, we're working a lot on dealer tools to help them retain and acquire their customers. So whether it's packaged marketing, turnkey marketing programs, or business intelligence to help them assess which customers could use which services, those are all things that we're working extensively on to really try to help bridge that bond between dealers and their end users, which is part of our obligation as a service partner for them.
Now, Alula is a brand new name out there in the
Yes.
industry. So I'm curious, what can you tell me about the name itself and how people have been responding to it since the new branding was announced?
Sure. So symbolically, it's really meant to be something fresh and new and different for the industry. Again, I feel like when I'm coming into this space, I hear a lot of dealers talk about the need for alternatives, that the industry in terms of the technology provided has gotten a little bit stale. And so we're trying to provide some new, fresh thinking, and we felt like we could go with a traditional name. We felt like going with a new, fresh name really symbolized the fact that we are something different. We're going to bring a fresh new perspective to technology for this marketplace. Literally, it's actually the part of a bird's wing that enables flight. And I think that's symbolic for us of saying we're going to enable our dealers, our great customers, our great partners to be able to fend off these new challenges. DIY, home automation, new entrants, lower costs, obviously higher acquisition costs, all that adds up. We've got to make sure that we can help them fly in the emerging forces going forward here, and that's what we're all about.
And what kind of response have you had to the new brand?
It's been fantastic. Our traffic here at the event has been tremendous. We've a lot of people very interested in terms of what we're doing. There's been a rich legacy history with both Resolution and ipDatatel. So we've got over 3,500 dealers already that are our customers, and we're using that foundation to say, what can we do to change your business even greater with this new value proposition? So I think it's been overwhelmingly positive. People seem to really like the name. A lot of questions about the name, like as you asked, like the name, but more importantly, they like the alternative approach that we're taking and are excited to see what's next.
Nice, that's great to hear. Well, thank you very much for having
Thank
time
you,
to
Spencer.
stop on the show floor with us.
Thank you, Spencer.